มวยไทยคือชีวิต
You may activate the service for a charge.
Hello, everybody. This is Eric Rivera from Muay Thai is Life, and here we're here on Muay Talk, interviews with Muay Thai's champions. Once again, we have another special guest. This time, he has appeared on the show before, and this is Simon Marcus from Canada. How are you, Simon?
Doing great, brother.
All right, man. So, I guess a lot to talk about, or, we might try to not talk about it too much, kind of focus on some different things as well in your upcoming fight career. But basically, yeah, I mean, let's go to more, pressing events, which is, you're preparing right now for a big fight, against Kaoklai. You're going to be heading out to Bangkok. So when are you actually heading out? The fight is next week.
I'm heading out on the 11th, which is the Sunday.
Okay, Sunday you're heading out. All right, good. And when you go over there, I mean, is there any place you normally crash, you normally train at?
In the past, anytime I'm in Bangkok, I usually train at Chuwatana Gym.
Okay.
But before that, I've trained at Port Pamuk. But I probably won't be going there because it's a little bit outside of Bangkok, and so it's usually Chuwatana when I'm training in Bangkok.
All right, and so are you going to be doing? I mean, I'm pretty sure you're going to be doing a little bit of some work, leading up to the fight to keep in shape until the last few days. And I mean, do you have anything scheduled as to where you're going to be doing that work, or is it going to be at Chuwatana?
It's most likely going to be at Chuwatana, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Great. And so, I mean, what have you been doing, anything different you've been doing for Kaoklai, or are you just ready, you're just, going in and training as usual?
Well, as usual, I do my regular routine. It was good for me for this fight because leading up to the fight, I had the Joe Schilling fight, so I was already in really good shape. I didn't really, reduce or go party or anything after the fight. So I maintained my shape, did some running, and took a couple of days off and went right back at it. So just making sure all my weapons are strong and on point, and that's it. Just making sure I'm at my best,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so Kaoklai, I mean, a lot has been said about Kaoklai lately in the sense that people say, he might not be as serious about training as of late, or maybe his best days are behind him.
Right.
I mean, obviously he's still a dangerous guy. I mean, he's been in there time and time again with some of the toughest guys, big guys as well.
Yeah.
Bigger than yourself, So, I mean, so what do you feel about going into this fight? I mean, obviously you're not going to underestimate him, but,
for sure. Well,
I mean, what do you feel? What are you trying to do in this fight? I mean, do you think you're going to see the best Kaoklai you've ever seen? You think he's going to turn a new leaf to face Simon Marcus? Or do you think it's, what have you heard?
Well, preparing for a big fight like this, this is a pretty big fight for me. So the worst thing I could do is probably go in there and try to underestimate him, saying, he's past his prime or whatnot, even if that's how I really did feel. Because if you look at Kaoklai's record, in the past, he wins and he loses pretty consistently. So he wins a few, he loses a few, he'll win one, lose one. He's kind of back and forth with that. So, but you always got to give a guy like that credit who's willing to step in the ring with anybody. Doesn't matter how big, how small, how good, it doesn't matter. So he's definitely dangerous, and I won't underestimate it. I'm just going to be ready for anything. So I'm going to be expecting the best Kaoklai that he could bring on that day, and that's going to be my expectations going into the fight.
Definitely. I mean, it's either way, I think it's one hell of a privilege to fight somebody like Kaoklai. I mean, even though he's a guy that has quite a big name behind him. I mean, he's always gone in there and fought some great talent, and win or lose, he always like you said, he's willing to face anybody. So I mean, in all honesty, I guess on my end, I would say, I really hope that we do see a Kaoklai that's I guess a little bit more focused on the way he used to be. That way, it'll be a good fight between you and him.
Yeah.
And we see a good fight, a good back and forth maybe, and a good showcase of traditional Muay Thai from both of you guys. And That's what I'm expecting to see. Also on the card, the Chike Lindsay is going to be fighting. He's going to be representing North America. Do you know? Have you heard of Chike Lindsay before?
I have heard of him, but I haven't seen any of his fights. I'm not quite exactly sure who he is, but I've heard the name a few times.
Okay, great. I mean, yeah, he's a talented fighter out of Atlanta. He's been coming up a lot lately. He fought Malapet and beat Malapet pretty comfortably, and that's another good fight, and that's another good thing that we're looking forward to out there. And he's going to be, I guess, the other North American on the card with you. So, I mean, how does the promotion do they set up any ways? I mean, I don't know how it is in Thailand. I'm pretty sure it's not like here that you're going to have open, open workouts and things like that where, press comes and things.
No, usually not. I mean, I fought the shows I fought in Thailand were mostly smaller shows and weren't really on that much of a big scale. I did fight in the King's Cup twice, but there wasn't really any, press conference or anything like that. But, they take pictures and put it in the Thai newspapers and in the Thai Muay Thai books. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, and I mean, I see from the poster, I think they always do this with the posters, and they always have Kaoklai at the forefront, and
right.
Everybody else kind of standing there behind him. So they're always, they obviously he's still very popular in Thailand, and
for sure, man. Because not that many Thai fighters have had the opportunity to make it to K1. Nevertheless, to win, and display Muay Thai and their culture. So I think the fighters that, did make it and have a bigger name internationally, they always have a big draw. So that's what they're trying to do with that.
Yeah, yeah. So moving on, I mean, we're going to have to go back to what everybody's been talking about. But, so I wanted to talk to you a little bit, obviously about the whole Joe Schilling fallout thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too much into it because honestly, in my opinion, as somebody who's studied traditional Muay Thai, has fought traditional Muay Thai, I really thought the sweep or whatever they want to call it, the Muay Thai, the dump that you used, was completely legal in what I saw. I mean, you took him over your knee, you stepped behind his leg, that type of thing. I didn't see any hooking. I think in a lot of ways, even if there was some sort of controversy of it, I mean, unless you blatantly hook them, usually it falls. And I think a lot of the have you seen also some comments made online by some of the pro fighters that looked at the fight?
Yeah.
Have also said that it still falls within a gray area that usually in Thailand they're going to let it go, and in Thailand they usually always do.
Absolutely.
It's something that just happens, and unfortunately, I think the only thing that I would say about the Joe Schilling fight that I kind of disagreed with what happened was I do feel like if he fell that way and he hit himself that way and, he got up and he was visibly out of it. I think there should have been an 8 count,
But something most people aren't realizing is that there are no 8 counts in Nevada.
No, I know that. I mean, that's something that was brought up later and it was kind of strange. But, I guess in that case, obviously, I think everything, what happened just happened. It's part of the fight. And, unfortunately, obviously on my end, I think it's kind of unfortunate, like that such a hyped up fight kind of had to go out that way. But in the end, I mean, you used your weapons, you did what you had to do, and you finished the fight. You finished the fight how it was, that's what's supposed to be done in a fight, So
exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously we've heard that Joe Schilling is contesting the decision and all this. I mean, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, I know you've also said that, a lot of fans were going onto your Facebook page and saying, would you give him a rematch, all this stuff. And you said, you'd be obliged to give it to him, and so, I mean, what are your thoughts on that situation?
Well, first and foremost, as far as the trip goes, anybody who practices Muay Thai or who understands the sport of Muay Thai knows it was a legal trip. It was a legal sweep, okay? Because when I stepped, I did not use my heel to hook his leg. I threw him over my knee, and he pulled me down, and I landed on top of it. Anybody who has fought in Muay Thai knows that this happens all the time. And if you pull somebody on top of you, you got to defend yourself. So obviously a fight is a fight. In Thailand, when a fighter gets hurt, the person who gets hurt is 100% accountable for it. And in some cases, it is the other person who did something illegal. But at the end of the day, you guys are fighting. So if you can't defend yourself, you're the one accountable for it. They're not going to say, no, the other guy's disqualified. But so as far as the appeal goes and whatnot, you know, and the fans go, everyone can have their own opinion. You know, I try to enlighten some people who may not understand the specifics of the rules in the sport and may not understand the sport because it's not as popular here in North America. But what can you do, you know? In my opinion, Joe's best bet would just be to move on and get ready for the rematch. I've already agreed to rematch him. The rematch is happening and soon. So I'm not just rematching him because everybody wants to see the fight again. I'm rematching him because I want to fight Joe again. You know, I love to fight, and I have no problems fighting Joe. And if he wants a rematch, I'd give it to him. And that's exactly what's happening. So what can you do?
Yeah. I mean, I brought it up too. I think what's going to happen is usually it comes down to fan loyalty. A lot of times it's going to happen, and you know, whoever's on Joe's side is going to see the fight in the way that they felt it went down, and whoever's on your side is going to see it. It comes down to, you know, you have your favorite fighter, you follow them. It might be your coach, you know, it might be your crew, so you know you're very interested in seeing them succeed. But you know, I really think it's commendable on your part that you want to do the rematch. I mean, it's something that everybody does want to see again, you know, and I'm pretty sure, you know, if you were to win again, I mean, it kind of just, you know, solidifies your reputation and solidifies what you did the first time.
Absolutely. And, I think the way the fight ended, you know, in my opinion, it was completely legit because people are saying, you know, even the announcer, if you listen to the video, saying he hit his head on the floor, you know, not paying attention to the fact that I just knocked him down 2 times after that. It told me he hit his head on the floor, but the floor didn't jump up and hit Joe in the head, you know. I took him down, and that's how Joe got hurt. So, you know, I see the win as completely legitimate in my eyes. But, you know, for people, even if I beat Joe in a different fashion, I would still give him another rematch. So we're going to do it again. Everyone's going to watch it again. And I'm actually looking forward to just proving that I'm the dominant fighter. And, yeah, that's pretty much
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's good to hear. I mean, that's going to be another epic match up. I mean, obviously everyone's going to kind of love to see that one, and it's going to probably, you know, build a lot of before fight. I wouldn't say drama, but there's going to be a lot of anticipation for it, you know?
Yeah.
Also another report that came out. I mean, the last thing I would probably want to discuss with you is a report came out, you know, that basically there's a fight scheduled between you and Artem Levin, June 9th. I don't know. I mean, what can you tell me about that? I mean, is that 100% sure? Is that still being decided depending on how the fight with Joe Schilling goes? I mean, what's going on with that?
From what I heard, it's going to be decided depending on how the next fight with Joe Schilling goes, you know. And I mean, it's not a fight. I didn't have to take the fight with Joe. I can just go fight Artem if I want to. But that's not my style, you know. I'm out here to prove I'm the best. And I'm not trying to duck or dodge anybody. And at the same time, I don't want anyone ducking or dodging me, although, you know, it has happened in the past. So I'm going to fight with Joe again. I'm going to beat Joe, and then I'm going to go on to beat Artem Levin and solidify being the world champion. That's the plan. And right now I'm just training hard. I got to focus on Kaoklai first. And, yeah, that's basically it. Nothing's in concrete or stone yet, but I'm looking forward to hoping that comes through.
Oh yeah, I mean, you got I guess you could say you really do have your work cut out for you.
Absolutely.
Man. I mean, you know, you're fighting some tough guys. I mean, whether it's Kaoklai, whether it's Joe Schilling, Artem Levin. I mean, these are all top guys.
Yeah.
And you know, well, I mean, you know, thanks again for talking with us, Simon. I mean, we wish you the best of luck. Can't wait to see the fight with Kaoklai. I mean, for a lot of people online, I mean, you will be able to I think you can actually catch it because it will be on Thai TV, I believe. So there's a lot of websites where you can catch Thai TV and see it. It's probably going to be somewhere around like 3 a.m. or something for, for East Coast time. But, so I can't wait to see that fight. Can't wait to hear about when the Joe Schilling rematch is. I mean, do you know anything about that? Is it April, May?
It will be very soon. The final contract hasn't been signed yet. We're still just doing some negotiating, but it's not going to be long. So for the fans who are looking forward to seeing me and Joe, it won't be a long wait. We're going to get it on in the next couple of months.
All right, man. So sounds really good, and can't wait to see it. And we wish you the best of luck in Bangkok, man. Looking for another Simon Marcus win. Hopefully you keep rising up the ranks, and you're doing really good so far. So much respect, and thanks for speaking with us, man.
Thank you very much. Muay Thai is life, just for the support and putting me out there. And I just want to thank all the fans who have supported me. And I'm going to keep doing my thing. I'm going to keep getting better and beating the best fighters out there. So thanks, everybody.
All right, thank you.
Take care. Sawasdee krap. My turn, like